Okay, so we're here again with Chris Martin. Thank you again for being here.
Yep.
We've been discussing a couple of my favorite guitars, and a lot of people.
Careful, that might be trademarked.
Oh, that's true. I've heard of that. I've heard of that place. So, a lot of people hate bling and hate. I really love it, and
Yep.
the fact is, you only make a few of these types of things.
Right.
And of course, I appreciate just a straight up good instrument.
Yep.
But I've always had a spot for this type of stuff. And
Paul, we always did this.
yeah.
We always made presentation guitars
even
all
back,
the way back.
Yeah, even back in the early, the 45s, you started doing a lot of
Yep.
pearl.
And even CF Senior.
Yeah,
He did some pretty. He had one that with the entire fingerboard was pearl.
yeah. It's neat. It's
Yeah,
beautiful, and they're so limited, and they're very rare. This one is extremely rare. You guys built this to celebrate your 1 millionth guitar, which
Right.
is incredible
Yeah.
in itself.
Yep.
And then that was in 2008, I believe, or no, the 175th was in
Before that,
2000. Even before that. So 1 million guitars, and now
yeah.
I think you told me today you're
We're
almost
getting very
at
close.
2 million.
Very close. Yeah.
So
Yep.
2 million guitars is an incredible thing. And how did this come about? Did you guys have a plan on doing this for the?
I realized every year Bill Hall calculates how many guitars we made, what's the ending serial number. And someone said to me, hey, we're coming up on 1 million pretty quickly. And I thought, okay, we need to do something special to commemorate that.
Yeah.
And we've done a couple projects with Larry Robinson, an inlay artist from California. So I got in touch with Larry and I said, would you have the time to help make the 1,000,000th Martin guitar, which you've seen.
Yep.
It's on display in our museum.
Yep.
And he said, I'd be thrilled. And I thought, okay, there might be some of our customers that would like to have a piece of that history, because the 1,000,000th guitar, I said, we're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
That is one of the ones we kept
Yep.
in the museum. It's not for sale. And so after that project was rolling along, Larry Seifel from Pearlworks and Dick Boak and I and Larry's partner got together. We would go fishing on the Chesapeake, and we had a discussion about, would it be possible to make 50 less blingy replicas of the 1,000,000th guitar? And Larry saw it as a challenge. Just to put his love of inlay into perspective, at his house down on the Eastern Shore, he built a deck on the back of the house, and the railing is shaped like a guitar, and the top of the railing is abalone pearl.
Ooh.
That he couldn't use to inlay guitars. And Larry was the first person that I'm aware of that took the technology of a computer numerically controlled router and applied it to pearl for guitars.
Sure.
And if you ever go to the Pearlworks shop, you see little teeny CNCs cutting
the small,
pearl or whatever it is that you're going to use. And so he took this on as a challenge that, yes, Chris, I think, he said this will be the most exciting and over-the-top project I've ever had. But he found it very inspirational to say, yeah, I would love to do that. So we start the project, and I love pearly guitars.
Yep.
I've got quite a collection of them. And so I said to the folks in sales, I said, I'll take the last one. And we took these to
And
the
you
show,
said
and we
50.
started.
And you
We
said
said 50. I thought 100 was too much.
Yeah.
They were $100,000
Yeah.
when they started, and we had a little inflation sense. And I thought, well, I'm never going to have to buy this guitar.
Right.
We're never going to sell 50 of them. And we sold them pretty regularly until the Great Recession. And then things just ground to a halt. And we would sell one once in a while. And a couple of months ago, someone said, hey, we've only got 5 left.
Right.
And sometimes what we would do is we would build one on speculation. We didn't have an order, but we would build one. And lo and behold, as we were building it, someone would come along and say, I have a customer that wants one. And so once the word got out that there were about 5 left.
Yeah, and I think I was one of those guys.
Yeah. the 4 of those 5 went so quickly that about a month ago I got a call from the sales department, and they said, Chris, get out your checkbook. Your guitar's
ready.
about ready.
Yes.
And I got mine the other day.
Great.
Yeah.
And this one is number 45.
Yeah.
And so you have number
And the other
50.
thing we were talking about earlier, which I thought I remembered, is we reserved 50 serial numbers after 1 million.
Exactly. Yep.
Which is
And
pretty unusual.
it
You've got a
is.
guitar
Yeah.
that, if you were to look at our serial number list,
Yeah.
someone would say, well, that should have been built many
Exactly.
years ago.
Yeah. This would say it's a 2010 or
Yeah.
something, but
Yep.
it's actually, we just
Yeah,
got
you
this
just
in
got it, right,
2015.
right,
So,
yep.
but it is serial number 1,045,000.
Yeah, yeah.
And in the front is dazzling too. The like you were talking about the little CNCs. It's
Yeah,
just
look at
so
that. Right,
intricate.
right.
And so you must have, when you committed to 50, once they started building them, you must have gone, oh my gosh.
Other than
what-
that's what Pearlworks loves to do. Someone like Larry Seifel or Dave Nichols, they want to make one of something.
Yeah.
Pearlworks doesn't want to make one of something.
Sure.
They don't want to turn the CNC on to make one guitar. They want to
Gotcha.
okay, if we're going to program this thing up for something like that, we want to do enough of them to make it worth our while.
And is there anything on here that's really unique and significant or hidden? Because I keep finding, every time I look at it, I find something new. There's just a lot. I mean, and of course it's Brazilian rosewood,
Right.
And I know there's, you're down to probably the last batch.
Yeah,
of Brazilian.
I've got a stash with my name on it that basically says "Do not touch" without Chris. And I don't know what I'm going to do with that wood.
Yeah.
It's become almost impossible to get. Every now and then you hear about a cachet here and there. It's so complicated now with the CITES paperwork. As an example, we occasionally make Brazilian rosewood guitars. One of the D-35, I think, has a Brazilian
has a strip
head
in
plate,
them, yeah. Oh yeah.
right? To celebrate the 50th anniversary.
And it's got a strip in the 3-piece in the back.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one piece
So,
in the middle. Yeah.
Paul, getting those out of the U.S., particularly to Europe,
Yeah.
the paperwork that we have to go through is mind-bending.
Sure.
And we actually, we put that into our monthly sales goal, and then all of a sudden we can't get the permission to ship the guitar to wherever in
Gotcha.
Europe, and we miss
Yep.
that. Well, I think, turn it around again. I mean, I think one of the coolest things is the scallop raised top there.
It is.
That's
It's really, it blends in well with
Yeah.
the shield,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's a stunning.
and these things,
stunning
these
guitar.
kind of viney,
Yeah.
that goes way back. You go back to guitars from the 1800s. This was something people
Something they were
did
doing, wow.
on presentation guitars, and not just Martin. Yeah.
It's stunning. There's inlay on every side of it. The headstock's beautiful. Now, is something like this ever going to be? Can you guys do this again? Like to this?
if we, Larry Seifel unfortunately passed away way too young. So to have that, the conversation has to start, the commitment, I think where we would hit a wall is in terms of repricing a project like this. Even though the price went up a little bit,
Yeah.
if we were to price this as a new project,
Yeah.
I think the price would be a lot higher than
Yeah.
it is. I just
Yeah.
do.
Well, yeah, with the Brazilian and this much
Right,
pearl.
that much
it's-
pearl in that. And
it's-
remember, not only, yes, the pearl itself was cut by a CNC,
Yeah.
and the wood was cut by a CNC, but the pearl was all inlaid by
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, and I've heard there's like 1,000
Yep.
pieces of
Yeah,
inlay, and there's
yep.
just there's gold and silver
Yep.
and
And the pearl itself
abalone
is
and-
getting more difficult
yeah
to
Yep,
buy. So.
exactly, and the pearl just has so much beautiful
Yeah,
color
yep.
in it. So amazing guitar. Again, I want to just thank you for.
So we're
making
raffling that off
amazing-
tonight at the
there
store?
you go.
Is that
You
the
bet.
tickets are $1. We have to sell
$3 for
100,000 of them?
Yeah, 3 for $1. No, it's
for
it's
$1.
one that I'm gonna be. It's gonna be hard for me to
Yeah.
sell this, and
you need. It's an expensive guitar.
yeah.
You'll find the right customer.
Yeah.
That won't just appreciate that he's got the most expensive guitar on the block.
Yes.
But he's going to know it's a special guitar,
It is
not
special.
just an expensive
Yeah,
guitar.
it's one of those ones I would really hope to keep in my store in a
okay,
glass case
sure.
forever.
Yeah,
But
Yeah,
you
your
need
kids
to
have to go to college
Yes,
someday.
and we need to buy more guitars, and I need to pay my bill.
Okay,
So
okay.
we'll probably end up selling this, and
Yeah,
hopefully we'll sell it
yeah.
soon, and
Well, let me know who
someone will
buys
love
it,
it.
though.
Yeah, it's an incredible guitar, and just want to thank you again for the history and the just running an incredible company and building amazing guitars. So
Thanks.
thanks a lot.
Sure.
Yep.